Etobi, Koseni Talafi, Shakawere, oh, Etobi, Koseni Talafi, Shakawere, oh, Etobi, Koseni Talafi, Shakawere, oh, Etobi, Olua. You are bigger than the biggest. You are stronger than the strongest. You are more than enough. You are more than enough. Yeah. You are bigger than the biggest. You are stronger than the strongest. Oh God, you are more than enough. Nothing else I need, just you alone. You more than enough for me, God. Yeah. You are more than enough for me, oh God. 'Cause you are a good, good Father. That you are a good, good Father. Yeah. You are bigger than the biggest. You are stronger than the strongest. You are more than enough. Hey. You are more than enough for me. Yeah. You are bigger than the biggest. You are stronger than the strongest. Oh God, you are more than enough. You are more than enough. Oh. Yes, Lord, yes, Lord. If all I say is Jesus, 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 it's more than enough. If all I say is Jesus, 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 it's more than enough. If all we say is Jesus, 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 it's more than enough. Oh, if all we say is Jesus, 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 it's more than enough. You have captured my heart, consume my heart with your love. Yeah, you have captured my heart, consume my heart with your love. Yeah, if all we say is Jesus, 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 it's more than enough. More than enough for me. More than enough for me. More than enough for me. Nothing else can satisfy me like my Jesus. Nothing can satisfy me like my Savior. He's my helper in times of need. You're more than enough, yeah. You're more than enough, yeah. You're more than enough, yeah. You're more than enough, yeah.
life. We thank God for health. We thank God for His provision, His protection, and everything that money cannot buy, and even the ones that money can buy. And on today's episode of today's Hangout, I have Pastor Faith Afolabi, who will be sharing with us on building capacity for financial stability. You're very welcome, sir, on today's Hangout.
Thank you, viewers at home. The Lord bless you. You are welcome to this session again.
Okay, so sir, I'll be asking you, is it when we talk about financial stability, looking at the peculiarity of our country, do you think financial stability is, okay, maybe before I go there, what is financial stability? Or what does it mean to have a financially stable life?
Okay, thank you once again. Viewers at home, you're welcome to this session again. I'd like to also shed more light on the topic, as it's been said, building capacity for financial stability. The word that comes to mind is capacity. What is capacity? Yeah, what is capacity in the real sense of it? We could say capacity is technical know-how. Capacity is skills, is your knowledge, is ability, is power. So how do you build that power? How do you build that ability, that capability to live a financially stable life? And that's quite important for me. That's the importance of this discussion this evening. How do we build capacity for financially stable life? When we are talking about financial stability, we're actually talking about living a life that is devoid of financial pressure and hustles. You are free financially. You are not under press. You are not pressed as to meeting your financial obligations, whether at home, whether in businesses, whether in every areas of life that we find ourselves. You are not pressed. You are not tight, as it were, when it comes to finances. So that could mean financial stability. You are stable financially. You are not pressed. You are not under undue press, so to say. So that's financial stability for me.
So you're saying that financial stability is your ability or a situation whereby you are not financially burdened on every side.
You got it right.
And when we look at the peculiarity of our country and the situations or the peculiar situations each and every one of us or the viewers out there find themselves, is it possible for us to be, or for anyone to be financially stable? Is it a position that is attainable?
Yes, it is.
As a realistically?
Yes. It's very real because the economy as a whole, Nigeria, for instance, Nigeria is a very blessed country. That this is a fact that's not all over the world, that Nigeria is a blessed country with our population, with our endowment, resource-wise, mineral-wise, with our population. We are a very endowed country. And that provides an opportunity for serious-minded individuals. Because if you have that capacity to build wealth, you must understand that this environment, that's why you see a lot of influx of foreigners into the country. They troop in their thousands to this country every day to tap the opportunities. I've had a conversation sometimes ago, and somebody said, if they are as blessed as the country is as blessed as Nigeria, they will not be where they are today. Though it's one thing to be blessed, we have that resources, that natural and God-given endowment. So it's another thing if we are really tapping into the resources and the resources that God has given us. So one can be financially stable in Nigeria. But the know-how, that's the capacity we are now talking about. How do you build that capacity? You must know the know-how. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs that the labors of the fools weary them because they do not know how to go to the city. There's a way, that is the how to be financially free, to be financially stable. So it is the how that we must understand, because there are enormous opportunity. Even with technological advancement, Nigeria the country is scaling. If you look at a lot of tech startups today, you discover that what has happened in the last 5 years cannot be compared in terms of economically engaged people. We cannot be compared to what has been happening in the country in the past 20 years. In the last 5 years, you see a lot of technology has enabled a lot of businesses, and people have been able to break through through that technological advancement. So Nigeria as a country provide an opportunity for people, for serious-minded citizens or individuals to be financially stable.
Thank you very much for that. And this scripture came to my mind that says, for those people outside who are thinking that it is impossible to actually be financially stable, or is a situation, a position that will take a long time to actually achieve, or you will have to go through so much rigors. This scripture comes into mind, and I'm going to say it out. It says, and it giveth you power to make wealth, which means there is already the backing of God, regardless of whatsoever is happening in our environment. And today I know that with the help of the Holy Spirit, we'll be able to establish how we as Christians, we as youths, for every youth struggling out there, for every parent struggling out there, that there is possibility, there is a great hope that you can have a financially stable life. So, sir, I would like to know, financial stability in itself.
Yeah.
What is it all about?
Okay.
How can one really build? We've said, okay, financial stability is being free from every financial pressure. We've been able to say that it is possible, it is achievable, it is attainable. Now, how can we? Everybody's hustling, everybody's going through the rigors of life. How is it possible that these efforts will not be in vain? So how can we build a financially stable life?
All right. It's very simple. I like to go back to the scripture you quoted in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. The Bible says, you will serve the Lord thy God, for it is he that gives thee power to make wealth. It is important for us to know. We need to begin to distinguish between wealth and riches. Yeah, so we need to begin to distinguish, because God give you power to make wealth. To do is to make wealth, to create wealth. And in other versions of the scripture, it says it gives you ability, the know-how. So it is God that actually endowed us with the know-how to make wealth. I overheard a man of God that said, whatever he has built today, success he has recorded in the ministry today, if you take him to a desert land, just leave him with his Bible, he's going to replicate the same success story he's seen today over time. So we must understand that the ability, the power is already resident in every child of God. So we must know that that power is already resident, is to tap within, tap into the resources, tap into the ability and the strength and the grace that God has made available. The Bible says he's able to make all grace abound to us. Now, you need to understand that it is God that made that grace available, but Paul says somewhere in the scripture that he labored with the grace of God upon him was not in vain. Now, a lot of believers we see today is that a lot of believers don't have the grace, but they did not make full proof of the grace. They did not utilize the grace. God has given us, somebody said, God has given you the brain so that you can do what your brain can do and stop disturbing God about what your brain cannot do. All right, so you must understand that God has already given us the power, the ability to make wealth. Then again, I will also want to lay this very clear. In Genesis chapter 2, if you take your readings from verse 7, you will discover that God planted a garden in Eden, and there was a river that flowed from the midst of that garden that distributed into 4 streams. The 4 streams of the garden were supposed to water the garden. Ideally, the Bible also said in the book of Psalms that we are the planting of the Lord. If you want to follow on that discussion, you will discover that each and every one of us, as a child of God, we are supposed to have multiple streams of income flowing into our life to water our garden so that we can be financially stable. So that we can be financially stable. So God has made that opportunity available to us. Then how do we do? How can one be financially stable? It depends on how we're looking at it. If you are self-employed, you can be financially stable by scaling the businesses you already have. How do you do this? Some people really join the bandwagon in faith because when they start making their first million, that's when they start thinking of buying a new car. Typical African way. Somebody want to marry a new wife. In typical African way, they want to acquire what they don't really need at the moment. Well, if you are employed, then you want to see how you how you can begin to set something apart. Even from the little you earn, you want to see how you can begin to set something apart so that it can serve as a buffer. Create a buffer for yourself. Yes, yeah, create a buffer for yourself for unforeseen circumstances that could happen. So first, I will say create a buffer, number one. Number two, I will say avoid debt like plague. If you want to be financially stable, you must avoid debt. A lot of people, because what they cannot afford, they get borrowing. Some people go to bank, they take money they take loan at the high interest rate, and it becomes burdensome to pay. You know, so you have to also plan towards investment. Now there are two ways of earning income. Either you can earn income actively or passively, which was active income and passive income. Active income is what you engage in. You engage your natural self into to earn money, whether you're working at a company or you are working at your own business, you are earning money through it. But passive income is a domain that not very many people have explored. Passive income and income that you can earn income doing what you like. All right, earn income doing what you like, and the technology, like I said earlier, has advanced a lot of things that could make that very, very possible. People write blogs. Some people are very good writers these days. You could write a blog and you could get company to promote, to promote their products on your blog. You could write articles for newspapers. Some people, if you're taking a sample, if you're taking newspaper before, there are some articles that are written by people. Yeah. You know, so in financial, these are ways where I think somebody could earn money. So to be financially stable, you must look at those where my area of where I can earn passive income from, and these are some of the areas I think the individuals should begin to look at.
So you said beyond active income, we should think of the passive income. Yeah. We should pay attention to the passive income, have a buffer effect, a form of savings, do away with what you want and go for what you need. And don't get yourself into debt. Now, a lot of people have this notion of saving even at their own detriment. Okay. Some people will tell you that how will I say, they are greedy to themselves in the aspect of saving. If you're telling people that they should go for what they need and not what they want, does it mean that even as they're getting some form of income, there shouldn't be time for fun, to enjoy themselves? And you know, when you've gone through the hustles and bustles of life, and at the end of the month, you're getting some cash, I just, okay, let me go for the basic things. And neglect, oh, my body needs to relax, or maybe I need to go to the spa, or maybe I need to just give myself or my family a treat. Does it mean that when you're talking of savings or talking about what they need, should they neglect that side of enjoyment or going on a holiday? I don't know. I want us to be able to, maybe if you will be able to balance it for us, do you think they should just neglect that aspect?
Well, I don't think so, personally. Okay. Other people may differ. I don't think so. When we are talking about savings, it shouldn't be a ritual. It shouldn't be a ritual. It should not be monolithic to say, okay, I'm earning, for instance, I'm earning 100,000 and I'm saving 90,000. I'm just barely managing myself with 10,000. Ideally, you know that will not be enough for you. You have to take unnecessary. So if you are saving and you don't live a good life, if you are gone in the process, your saving is gone. So what I would advise is plan for every of these things. We need to plan. People have actually said what is ideally for saving. Some management books that I've checked, some people say 10% is ideal to save, you know, which is more like your tithe, which is more like, for us Christians, we know that our tithe, so it comes to like 20% of your income is already saved somewhere. Budgeted. Yeah, budgeted for, you are saving 10% somewhere, where the moth and rust cannot get to, which is your tithe in heaven anyway. But the other 10% you can save it for just saving for saving's sake. You can also plan for your vacation. As much as I love to enjoy life to the fullest, I don't deny myself of necessary things of life. For instance, somebody like me, if I earn money, I believe in living good. I take myself out. I give myself a treat. Yeah. So I don't believe you need to starve yourself because you want to save. If you plan for it, you already know. It may be a bit difficult for people that are self-employed, but if you are an employee somewhere, you earn regular income, you already know you can budget. You already know your salary. Even if there's going to be salary increase, you can already pre-plan your budget for the year. Your monthly expenses can already be pre-planned. And the reason why people find it difficult is because people don't, like I say, if you don't have a buffer and you don't have, there are certain spending that one can categorize as miscellaneous every month. You set aside an amount that whatever happens, they should be able to take care of it. What I do as an individual is I have a cover that I don't go beyond. No matter what happens within the month, I say I don't go beyond this. If you ask for me, somebody, just a few days ago, somebody pressurized me to give. I said, I have given you my word that this is what I will do. And I was so pressed, I have to go out of my way to get it. I said, hear me, this will be the last time. This will never, if you cannot live by my standard, let it go. All right, so we must be able to, because ultimately you are building a future for yourself. So don't deny yourself necessary things of life. You need to go out, you can't go out. Even if you're an entrepreneur, you need to enjoy yourself. How do you get clients to patronize you as a business owner, for instance? It's how you socialize with people. You socialize, if you don't go out to some of those gatherings, you may probably not see people. You need contact, you need referral for your business to boom. So how do you get these people? You go out and socialize with them. So I don't believe you should save at the detriment of yourself. Some people do that at the detriment of their health. If you are starving because you can't fast 30 days because you want to save. If you develop an ulcer, that's a problem for you to nurse. You will spend your saving, your adding money that you are saving to treat yourself in the hospital. So you must understand that you need to balance the equation. Don't save what you don't save. Well, I wouldn't say don't save too much, but save what is convenient for you. Yes, yeah, because a lot of people start saying, "Oh, I will just be saving." If you're saving, if you may try it 1-2 months, the third month you see that it's not realistic, and they go back on the whole plan is distorted. Yeah, and they cannot continue.
Okay, so from what you said now, I want to ask a question: is good management and financial diligence enough to give you a financially stable life? Do you think, oh, I can manage my money well, I can do all those things you have said? Is it enough to have a financially stable life?
No, it's not enough. Now, because we say financial stability is a life that's not burdened by financial issues, challenges, or pressures of life. And I will tell you, life has been designed in such a way that pressures are thrown at us at every now and then. So it is not, we have seen very beautiful professors with technical know-how, and they live a very impoverished life. So it is not about financial, have their understanding of financial management, but also the leverage we have as children of God is that we have the guiding light inside of us, which is the Holy Spirit. So Holy Spirit, come with the skills you have learned over time, whether in your business or in your practice, you have learned over time. God would now be able to guide you. There are certain investments. For instance, we are talking about different, how to be financially stable, the steps we mentioned. If you want to invest, for instance, and I will give you an instance that happened in Nigeria about a year or 2 ago, that people were writing over, Pontus scheme. A lot of people were running after it, and you could see the aftermath effect. If somebody has saved up to about 5 million naira somewhere, you saw that this scheme is working, and you just jump to it. If you are not led, if you are not properly guided by God's Spirit, you will have invested your money and you will have wasted your money. So, apart from financial prudence, your financial management skills, you also need the guidance of the Spirit of the Lord to know an investment that will yield. To know an investment that will yield. I read a story, there are 2 stories I will share. There was a particular man I know during the banking boom, it's around 2005, 2006, and invested in the banking sector as high as about 800 million. And when the issues were happening around 2009, when the financial burden was on us, and he lost almost all his investment. There are cases of people that ended up in the hospital. Why? Because they lost that investment. But there are people, from reliable, there are people that were investing at that time. But at that point in time, they just opt out. It was like by impulse. It was a life testimony of an individual. I said, I just feel I should take money. He just took the money and invested in another stock. And before you know it, that thing crashed. His millions were saved. No, so we need the guidance of God. Apart from even your personal management and skills that we have tested and used over time, we also need the guidance of the Holy Spirit to know what to do. There are certain things you want to do. You may be saving and God say, that saving, I need it for this particular thing. I will share with you the story of the widow. The widow probably had that little thing remaining in her house for saving as a buffer against death. Yes. So I'm saving in there. That's what, after all my, undertakings for the day, I will just take this man, my son, and off we go. But God said, bring that first. And he took it and gave it to God. And God used it, and look at the multiplier effect. When we are always led by the Spirit of God, there are bound to be multiplier effects on whatever we have invested in.
So regardless of your financial diligence, regardless of your good management, you need God's guidance. Yeah. It is not enough. And I pray that for every children of God listening to us, God will continually guide you as to your investment, as to how to spend, as to how to save. Do not neglect the guidance of the Holy Spirit. So I know there will be some viewers watching us and will be like, asking themselves, okay, this thing they are saying, where do I fall in? Am I financially stable or not? So I would like to ask, I would not want to say what are the signs of somebody who is not financially stable. I will ask, what are the signs of a financially stable life? What are those things that when you see it, you know that this person is okay, this person is financially stable, or the person, when the person looks inward, will know that, oh, I am financially stable. What are the signs of financial stability? Yes,
there are a lot of indices that we can use to measure a life that is financially stable. I would say, number one, a life that is not under pressure to buy anything. Yeah. Now, so a life that is not under pressure to buy anything, and I will use this instance. Some people join the bandwagon first, so to say. Anything that is trending, they just buy. Some people patronize things in the office that you just, whether they like it or not, they just buy. How much is it? Somebody is buying a shoe, I buy. Whether I budget for it or I have not budgeted for it, I just go ahead and buy. Somebody passes by, I see it, I buy. People that are financially stable don't do that. They plan their expenses. So when you can buy on a spot check, you can check that, oh, this guy probably knows what he's doing. People that are not under duress to buy anything. People also that are not burdened with financial challenges. There are financial challenges, but it has levels. When you see somebody that's always borrowing, you can tell that this is not a financially stable person. Always borrowing from bank, borrowing from friend, borrowing from family almost. Even what they are earning is not enough. Why? Because they are borrowing all along. So you can say this person, when you see somebody that's not feeling the pressure that maybe every other person is feeling, you can actually say this is a financially stable life.
Okay. So is borrowing the only tell light, or the only sign that, oh, this person is not financially stable? I've seen where people, even the rich people, we hear the Dangotes of this world saying they are going to the bank to borrow money for so investment and all the rest. So, do you think borrowing is a tell sign?
No, borrowing could be part of it, but not all.
Okay.
Of course, even country borrows to finance the deficit of the budget.
Because I've heard people say
that even
Nigeria, they borrow.
Yes, but it depends on what you are borrowing
for.
It depends on what you are borrowing for. People that borrow, you mentioned about some big people, because even corporations borrow. And they borrow to invest. maybe there is an opportunity that is opening up and they don't have that immediate resources. They could go out of their way to take a loan, all right? They can take a loan to finance that project, and the proceeds of the project will far away whatever they are borrowing and pay the interest over time. But borrowing in the sense, in what I mean in that sense is somebody always borrowing from A, borrowing from B, you know, almost every now and then, the person keeps borrowing. Then that raises an alarm now. Oh, what kind of life? I've you know, a story of somebody that he said, I even borrowed from my driver at a time. The driver you are paying, you are borrowing from your driver. I said, you know what? So, but if you are financially stable, you don't. If you are borrowing, it may be probably to finance a project that have a yield. Don't borrow to spend.
Okay, don't borrow for your wants.
Yeah, don't borrow for your want. I would rather put it. Don't borrow to spend on immediate things. Something is buying. Somebody bought a car. I want to buy a new car. I don't have that sufficient. I borrow to buy it so that people can know that I also can afford. Right? But if you are borrowing, that's an investment opportunity which you have done your permutation very well. You have a forecast of that business. You probably have done your financial projection and know what this can yield for you in another 1 or 2, 3 years. You can borrow to finance that project because the proceeds of the project will pay.
I'm sorry, as you were talking, I remember I've heard incidences of maybe people working in the bank. You know, they'll just, the banks, the company will just give them a car.
Yeah.
Like, will be deducting it from your salary.
Yeah.
What do you have to say to such scenarios, whereby they feel for the comfort, for them to be able to work better, give them convenience, and they give them a car. And they say, oh yeah, just go ahead. When you get the car, you'll be paying from your salary or deducting. What do you have to say to that?
Yes, it's possible if for operational challenges, the organization decides that they are going to give the staff concerned a vehicle for movement.
For the person, you're just thinking that I don't need a car. Let me keep jumping my boss when the money is ready.
Yes,
what do you have to say to that?
Yes, I also know that even in the banks that you mentioned, it's optional. If there are levels in the bank you get to that you are entitled to status car. Okay. The status car is a car they give you by your grade or your level. When they give you, you continue to use that. I know that for some banks, when you are leaving, if you have used it over for up to about 5 years, the company asks you to pay the balance, and they need it off their books. But what is actually important is if the business make provision for it. But I want to say that categorically, that it's optional. You could decide to opt for it. You could decide if they are asking you to pay. But most organizations, what I think most organizations do is such vehicles are operational vehicles for running of the businesses. If they are in any way thinking of giving cars to the staff, they may want to do. It may be a bid process where we have these cars available if you need it.
If you're interested.
But if you're not interested, nobody forces you because they are deducting it from the salary. If your salary cannot accommodate, because even in risk management in the banking sector, what I know is you can't take a loan more than 33.3% of your income. Deductible every month. So if you cannot afford it, the bank will not even avail you.
They won't even make it available to you.
They will get your figures. They will get your figure from the system. They will lock in your annual and your and see what it comes to. If it's not up to 33.3% of your income, they won't give you.
Yeah, okay.
But it's now your responsibility. If you now I want to go and take a loan outside, then you pay.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification, sir. So I would like to ask, what are the challenges? We've talked about the signs. Oh, these are the signs of a financially stable life. Now, for somebody who now knows that, I can say that to an extent, I am financially stable. Yeah. What are the challenges
that the individual will face?
That the people with financially stable life face? Because I believe that our daily lives is a lot of, we are faced with a lot of challenges on a daily basis, which wants to counter our livelihoods and all the rest. So what are some of the challenges that comes the way of people that are financial, at least they will say, I am okay. What are the challenges they face?
Well, I think one of the challenges they face is where people don't really like people like that, because you'll be seen as very fixated. It's your own that you,
Or rigid.
Yeah, you are very rigid. You are not flexible. You know, this apple, you are just bent. You're just to be flexible a bit. But again, as children of God, that's where the Spirit of the Lord that can guide us. Then another thing, people, you may not really be. Well, I want to be a bit careful with words. Yeah, you know, really be social, because what others are going after, what is trending. You're not interested. You are thinking somewhere. I want one with somebody, you know, as my director, and this is an individual that I know that he works a lot. Okay. It will afford many things, and I see some of his friends do. But he just at the time one of his exotic car, he has to up it up for sale. I need to build this business empire. I need to build it. He just up it for sale. Why some other are struggling to even buy, you know, those cars? So you to an ordinary person, it seems as if what others have, you know, others who are craving for. They will even flaunt it on their social media that they just acquired this new car and all that. This guy is selling it. What on earth is wrong with this guy? Well, come on, that guy is making waves now. He's thinking of the future. He's building something that has never been built before. So you may not, you won't be sensational, so to say. If you are financially stable, you may not be sensational. Don't let me say outrightly. You may not be sensational because you will be seen as, number one, very rigid. You may not be too social in the sense of it, where things are trending. This is the new clothes. This is the new this wristwatch. This is the new wristwatch. Because your mind are not.
You'll be very conservative.
You are very conservative.
So I would like to ask, where do we draw the line between someone who is rigid and somebody who is greedy or stingy? There's some people out there, they'll tell you they are rigid, but you as a third party, you know that this one is stingy. This one is in the normal usual parlance of akagom. You know, they give anything. So where do we draw the line of somebody who is greedy and who is stingy? Because I don't want to expect that somebody who has a financially stable life and everything is going on well for you, and then maybe at the moment there's no financial obligation, and somebody walks up to you and tells you, bros, sis, I need your help. Or maybe for health purposes or for an emergency, and the emergency is something that you have confirmed. And because of you've made up your mind, you're like, my budget, I'm not exceeding it, and you feel the person can go elsewhere. Definitely, if God is in it, God will definitely answer the person. But I feel people need to know the difference between rigidity and being greedy. We need to be able to draw the line. Maybe, and they tell you, oh, there's a church project, and you know that you have some money, and you're like, I don't give God my tithes. I don't give offering. I bet me they don't ask me for anything again. You know, where do we draw the line?
All right, let me start by saying, particularly for viewers that are believers, and I know, you know, if you're watching us on this platform, grace has brought you this far.
Yeah.
I want to say that the best investment you can ever have in life is investment in the kingdom of God. So apart from paying your tithe, there are other investment avenues in the kingdom of God. The Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes, sow your seed in the morning, at noon, and in evening, because you do not know whether this is the one that will germinate or this is the one that will sow. Every opportunity we have in the kingdom of God to sow, please, it's not an opportunity for you to miss. Don't say you have, even the New Testament concept of tithing, you know, it's 10%, but the New Testament concept of tithing is even giving all. When you have given yourself to God, tithe is not even enough for you to give to God.
Because
there are times you could throw in the whole monthly paycheck for God because something is urgent. You want to get this project done in the church. It's not about 10%. It's about what else we can do.
What can do.
So it is important for us to know and understand that when it comes to flexibility, the Bible said the preparation of the heart is of man, but the answer of the mouth is of the Lord. We can, most time as children of God, what we need to do is to have our plans and take it to God. God, this is for you. Vet it. Okay. All right? And we must also be very sensitive. We are led by the Spirit of God. There are certain times that some people have walked up to me, they need assistance, and truth be told, without any impulse, we give. But there are some times when people walk, I just feel this is not right.
Not right.
I just sense it. So even if, no matter the pressure at that time, this is not right. And I will give an instance. So, you know, by His grace, we were coordinating a group of people in a local church. And somebody walked up to one sometimes ago. He said, Pastor, I had a wife in the hospital now. They need to be, she just delivered. They need to pay the hospital. Where are you from? From another state, not even from the state. So how come you relocate within your wife? I mean, was there no plan, you know? Raise a question. Oh, well, my senior pastor said, you will see a lot of people like that. Why don't let's just give it? I said, but sir, I don't feel all right.
That's strong.
I said, okay, I
conviction.
just have that strong conviction. I said, how many of them can we really pinpoint that they're saying the truth or not? I said, okay, you know what, sir, meet me in church on Thursday. They will be able to address this. And the man did not come on Thursday. It was after the service he came when we were already rushing to go home. He said, sorry sir, you couldn't bring the you couldn't
make it on time.
Yeah, but you know the still need is be looking up and up for the morning and couldn't. So okay, give me your account number. We send whatever we can afford to his account, and that was the last time we saw the man in church. No traces of him. He gave us an address. We tried to locate. We called the number.
So you even do a kind of follow up to check how he's doing.
We're even happy because we want to go and dedicate the baby.
It is well.
So you see a lot of people like that. And I used I used to advise people, Stanley, be careful how you
give.
And know where you sow your seed. That money that you have thrown away, you will have thrown in the church.
Know where you sow your seed. Yeah. So before we continue, we'd like to go to our pastor, my co-host, to know what the viewers are saying online, their comments, their suggestions, and their questions. So over to you, Pastor Femi.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Pastor Afolabi, for an awesome time with you. I have some questions here that I would like to ask you. One of the questions says, I'm pushing so much on my job to get more, to be able to balance financially. I love the job and I'm passionate about it, but yet I'm still struggling to balance. What would you advise me to do? That's the first one. The second one says also as an entrepreneur who just started out my business with just little capital, I believe I'm doing my very best to balance things, but not still there. I'm considering doing something else. Do you think it's wise? Because I really need to do something that will help me balance financially. That's the second question. And the third one, which is the last question, said, do I need to do many things, businesses, to have a financially balanced life? So we'd like to have answers to these questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Pastor Femi. So, sir, what do you have to say to this question?
Well, for the person...
From the first to the second, then the third will handle later, because it's also part of it.
For the person that's pushing so much on the job to get more, to be able to balance financially, and love the job, is passionate about it, but still struggling to balance. You may be putting more to the job, but I like to ask, in what regard are you putting that more? One of the
challenges
areas which I know you could earn more in your place of work is when you increase your capacity to earn. For instance,
how do you increase your capacity to earn?
You increase your capacity to earn. For instance, if you're an admin person, all you do is just admin work, and you are doing it very diligently, and you know, salary increase may not come until maybe after 2 years, 3 years, but you can show resourcefulness in being able to do other things within the organization. For instance, you are an admin, you can handle procurement very well. Instead of, you know, if you show dexterity in how you work, people say you can do, you are very multitasking.
Yeah.
An opportunity may happen and they will say, oh, this guy fits into this role. So increase, how do you do that? You acquire more skills. For instance, I know in organization as you grow up, you know, more operational duty begin to diminish and you begin to go into management. And you begin to, you know, you become more tactical.
Yeah.
You know, you become more strategic in your approach to organization.
Things.
Than being tactical. So what you want to do as an individual is how you progress the ladder within the organization by showing dexterity and how you can handle many other things. Okay. All right. If you are a client facing department, which a lot of people call business development, you interface where. How can you scale your sales record? How can you bring more business to the organization? Sure. And so when you are doing more, you can actually negotiate. I have seen organizations where people are doing more, they are delivering on their budget, and they negotiate and they got offer within the organization. So increase your capacity by acquire more knowledge in certain area. If you know an area that is lacking within your organization, you could learn that knowledge and apply it on the job and ask for.
Okay. So what if this person is an entrepreneur going through challenges? Now, you've talked about maybe someone having the regular income job, the regular salary earning job. What if this person going through this challenge is an entrepreneur? What advice would you have for the person?
Okay, if you are an entrepreneur, I need to also let you know that one of the key attributes of an entrepreneur is must be a risk taker. You must have all this well planned out before you go into. But if you are putting everything you think you can, you should, and you are still not making headway. Now there are ways you can seek for partnership in equity. You can give equity. If you know that you don't have the financial capacity, but you are passionate about that, you believe so much in it. These days we have angel investors that invest in startups. So there are even government organizations. I know there are particular government organizations where if you meet the criteria, develop a very good business proposal, you get funding. So if you are struggling, you believe so much, you are passionate about what you do, you can give it all you take, but resources are not coming. Come on, there are angel investors there. You can pitch your proposal before any of these people, or even before the agency that can advance you money, or people can even give you grants. Some of these government organizations give grants. Some international funding organizations can also give seed.
Okay. I think we'll be talking about how to get the grants and all the rest later at the procedures, because I know some people will be anticipating, they would want to know. So, sir, because of our time that is fast spent, I would like to for us to rush over the questions. Does government policy affect financial stability? Does it have any role to play for someone to have a financially stable life?
Yes and no.
How, sir?
Yes, because government policy determines the economic outlook of every country. So if for instance, government policy, the monetary policy, those are the indices that talks about the inflation and the rest of them. So, but if the policy is not favorable, it could affect, for instance, an entrepreneur. It could affect even an employee. A company begin to shrink in their resources. So they can't afford. That's why you hear a lot of some people have salary slash. Some people have disengaging workers. Why? Because they could no longer meet their financial obligation but as a child of God, it creates a buffer also for you. As a child of God, the Spirit of God in you help you to develop, how to survive in the midst of scarcity. You begin to think of what to do. Now, very typical example. When the government banned importation of about 41 items on CBN list, they are no longer imported into the country, a lot of people began to come up with innovative ideas. Now we have made in Nigeria shoe that's happening now, the made in Nigeria thing that are coming up now, which if that import window is still open, people will see, somebody will not think. We will still be importing toothpick. So let me just think how to do it. Okay. People are now doing wonderful because of that particular policy. I said, so no, in a sense, it can affect the policy, monetary policy can affect you. Yes, because that also policy, the import policy, is also favorable to some who want to develop new business. A lot of people, you don't even need to be sincere with you as an entrepreneur. You don't even need a workstation, as in a set of workstation, a table, an office, so somewhere. There are co-working spaces everywhere. There are virtual offices everywhere. With your right data on your phone, you can do businesses that will earn you money.
So, are you? I have heard of those virtual offices. Though today is not a day to talk about entrepreneurship, so don't let me just divert. Maybe for some other time. So, I would like to know. We know that, okay, depending on the circumstance, government policies can affect how financially stable you can be. But because we are children of God, we are more on the favorable side. Because I remember there's a scripture I read that said, even when there was no light in Egypt, there was light in Goshen. So which means that God is always available for us. We have an edge as children of God. So I'd like to know, we've talked about how to build a financially stable life. Now, what are the tips or the tricks to making good financial decisions? Because I know that this really matters. Your ability to know when to say no, your ability to know when to say yes, your ability to know when to move forward, your ability to know when to go back. Now, in all of those things you said, God's guiding light is important. But now, some people tell you, how do I know God is in it? That is another one. Then if God is in it, what are the logical steps, tips here and there on how to make good financial decisions?
First of all, I will say that in every decision there are alternatives. That's why it's a decision.
Yes,
in the
yes.
process of decision making, there is choice. There are choices to be made. There are alternatives to make choices from. So there are choices. If you are, as children of God, is to how to be properly guided. There are ways God communicates to us. There are certain things, this is outright. Anything that is beyond your capacity, I will tell you outrightly that as far as God is concerned, it may be a no. If it's beyond your capacity, it's going to bring more burden to you. If it's beyond your capacity, I will tell you outrightly, God may not really be in it. So it's for you now it's a choice between whether should I buy this thing now, but again, you must understand as children of God that it's our ability being controlled by the Holy Spirit. The Bible says, as many as are led by the Spirit of God,
they are the sons of God.
So delayed gratification, if that immediate longing to get this thing now, to do it because people are doing it, you can delay. That self-control is fruit of the Spirit.
Yes.
The ability to be controlled. People are buying it. You feel the impulse too because you are still flesh.
Yes.
But then you'll be able to control. No, you're not buying this thing. So you made that. It's a choice. It's an issue of. So you must understand where you stand on either side of the divide as a child of God, to be able to say no to certain things and to be able to say okay.
Yes.
Just I can accommodate, my risk level can take this.
Okay.
So you must be able to distinguish between those two balances.
I feel this advice or suggestion you just gave is about when it comes to your needs and your wants and something you can use. But when it comes to business decisions, a friend comes to you and says, Tommy, what's up? There's this business, so come and join. Come and put your money. What are the things we need to look at as a person? Should I go for this thing? Or should I just watch? Or should I just hold on? Or should I just stay back? How do we know when to take that leap or not?
All right, that's why it's important to be guided. But again, within the premise of facts that are available to you, if somebody bring a business proposal, for me, first of all, I will first check, is it financially viable? Is it sustainable? Viabilities, the number one thing I will check. Number two, sustainability. This thing, is it not just the wave of the moment because everybody is doing it now? What happened another 1 year? What happened another 2 years? I like to do that financial project. Am I able to, when will I break even in this business? Eventually to it. So I look at the facts that are available to me. If it has worked in other clients, and I want to check those success stories, what has worked somewhere else before I can go ahead and implement it. So these are some of the things I will check by. If it's good, then prayerfully go into it. But if all the indices are pointing red, danger signs. Yeah, so there may be need for you. You are pressed
check again.
They say we should bring the money now. Bring it now. Anything that puts you on haste, you should
under undue pressure.
Yeah,
rethink about it. Okay, so for people who are already having a financially stable life, how can they sustain it?
Okay.
How do they sustain, and how can they improve it? Okay. That is another thing to sustain. It's another thing to be able to take it above par or above this average, or I've been on this level enough. How do I go to the next level? I don't know what you have to say to that.
All right, sustainability will come in if you continue to do what you are doing. You sustain. You sustain. But to scale what you are doing, also I would say, whether in business or in personal life, you must increase your capacity. If you are operating from this room, for instance, you want to have a progression. In another 1 year, I should move to maybe 2 rooms, so you can increase your capacity to earn, then you also increase your ability to earn. When you increase your capacity to earn, you increase the resources that are necessary. So you want to look at other opportunities for investment, to be financially stable, because our needs are increasing every day. So also, you know, the indices of the economy are also changing every year. So what's applicable next year, I mean last year is not what's applicable now. Next year the dollar may increase. So you want to look at other opportunities that you can tap into. You know, when you look at other opportunities to increase your capacity. There's no limit to knowledge. Always learn. You know, that's why
information is key.
Yeah, information is key. You see, people that have success story today, there's hardly any successful businessman you see today that is into one thing. I don't want to
diversify.
That's a strategy. Diversification strategy is something if you want to sustain and you want to improve. That's what I think. Right? Business.
Multiple means of income.
Yeah. That multiple stream. Remember the scripture we shared?
Yes.
God expects that every opportunity around you feeds you.
Yes.
As a guardian of the Lord, every opportunity feeds you. And that's what one should look out for. Don't just get fixated on something and say this is what. Even as employee, if you're working somewhere, don't rely so much on the salary. Through the salary, you could create a saving. I mean, that buffer, you could invest somewhere that is earning money for. I'm glad to say today now that mobile agricultural platform that are available. You don't need to go to farm with cutlass and hoe. That are other. You can invest your money, and the money is working for you. It's yielding for you.
Yes.
All right.
A passive income.
Passive income. You are earning that money. That saving, instead of sitting in the bank or under your bed, is somewhere working as an investment. And that's what a lot of us should look at. As an employee, maybe finally I should just add that even as an employee, we must be able to draw this line. It is not everybody that will be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
In the sense,
yes.
An entrepreneur that are risk taker, who I would call funders. You know, because entrepreneur, the field of entrepreneurship is wide.
Yeah.
There's entrepreneur, people that go all out with their strengths, take the risk and start the business. There are people we call intrapreneur. Intrapreneur are the people that take risks within an organization. They work and they create new streams of income within that business. These are people that will go to the field, come back. Sir, I see an opportunity that we can do here. And they sold the idea to the company. And the company grow. I knew somebody that were working together in a group. This guy, he will come back with new ideas and say, oh, I feel we can do this way. He's doing it, and the business is, they are diversifying, it's like, so you must know, and you can be successful doing that. Don't say until if this salary ceases now, I'm not an entrepreneur, I don't have a business line running somewhere. What happened to my financial life? No, you could be an entrepreneur, and there are people that I know of today, very respected people that are sought after in the industry. Whether some of them got appointed to the board, some of them got appointed to committees in big companies and corporation. Why? Because of the experience over the years. Okay. So I think.
Wow, our time is fast spent. And Pastor Folobi, we say a very big thank you for coming here today. We really, really appreciate it. And I know to all our viewers, we've been able to learn a lot on how to live a financially stable life. And I know that with the help of God, with the leading of the Holy Spirit, it will help us to know what to do at every point in time. And to all our viewers, I want to say thank you for staying with us today. Today we had Pastor Folobi, and my name is Daniel Tomilola Esther. And we urge you to share with your friends, to like our Facebook page, and to share, retweet, tell your friends about this. And I know that as they watch, God will do something great and meaningful in their lives. This is RCCG Graceville. If you intend to worship with us, we are at Lasu Igondo Road, opposite Igondo General Hospital. We'll be waiting to hear from you, and we are expecting to see you. Thank you. See you again next week.
To receive the kind of love that you give, but I'm grateful for your mercy, and I'm grateful for your grace, and because of how you poured out yourself,
mama.